You're listening to Customer Spotlights, where we dive deep into the journeys of e-commerce founders who are making waves in the industry. Tune in as they share their experiences, strategies, and lessons learned, offering a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to succeed in the fast-paced world of e-commerce.
So first of all, I checked out your website. It looks cool. If you could kind of just tell me a little bit about your brand, kind of what inspired you, how you started, and just like some basics to the story of how you got started and how you got to where you
Sure.
are today.
So back in 2021, my co-founder and I, Cole Henry, started Solace bands in April of 2021. Cole got an Apple Watch for Christmas. Didn't really like the bands that were around. Kind of stumbled upon this product. Knew that we could make it better. We could sell it. So he essentially started it, and then I joined on. We just became 50-50 partners, and really never looked back. Since 2021, we've onboarded a couple friends, couple family. Fulfilled for ourselves for about 2 years. Now we use a 3PL. Have really had a ton of highs and lows, as I'm sure every single e-commerce business has. But we're really looking forward to 2025. We're having a pretty strong Q4 here, so definitely looking forward to Q1 next year. But happy to answer any questions you guys have. Solace Band specializes in smartwatch bands, primarily Apple Watch bands. We like to say we have a band for everybody. We have bands that are perfect for working out, going on walks, styling with your outfits when you go out with drinks for friends, business meetings, pretty much anything that you could possibly use your Apple Watch for. We have a band for it, and we have styles and colors that everyone will love, which is why I think we've had over 350,000 customers. We've sold over 800,000 watch bands at this point. And we're really looking forward to selling that millionth watch band, hopefully Q1 of next year.
Oh, that sounds good. How does it actually just work, just from a technical perspective? How do you connect it?
So it's literally as easy as, so I wear a smartwatch. This is one of our bands. For me, I just pop this clip out and then pop it in. And then this one is one of our newer adjustable loops. So it's just magnetic, slides right on. Apple Watches, in my opinion, are a little bit easier. You literally press a button on the back of the Apple Watch, slide the band in, and you're good to go.
Got it. Okay. But it works, it's not only Apple, it works with other brands as well.
Correct. Yeah. So Apple Watch bands is probably our biggest assortment. And then our smartwatch bands can fit, Garmin, Galaxy, some Fossil smartwatches. We can even fit regular watches. I haven't seen anybody using it for that, but yeah.
And what was your background before joining the company back in?
So Cole and I both went to Penn State. Been pretty much lifelong friends. Grew up together on the same street. Both went to Penn State. We were roommates for 2 of the years at Penn State. And then we even moved in together afterwards with my now wife, which was pretty fun. But beforehand, we both majored in corporate innovation entrepreneurship at Penn State. So thankfully kind of had a little bit of background running startups and whatnot in the college atmosphere. Wasn't anything high revenue generating for myself. Cole was working on an apparel brand with his sister at the time that they still run together now. And then I, after college, worked for Aldi as a district manager. I was there for just over a year before I quit to do this full time. And at Aldi as a district manager, I had 3 stores that I was responsible for. 3 store managers, obviously one at each, and then about 110 employees underneath all of them. And that's pretty much it. But knew that I wanted to do something entrepreneurial full time. Didn't know what yet. And then once, this opportunity kind of stumbled upon itself, we just kind of took it and ran.
Must have been a big jump.
Yep, definitely was risky. Thankfully, my girlfriend, wife now, was okay with that. I had, I think, 3 or 4 months of expenses saved up. We were making money from the business. We were cash flow positive, so we were able to take draws and everything. So she was happy with the decision after a couple months.
Yeah, I guess it takes time. And what does your competition look like? Are there other companies in this space as well?
Well, I would say Apple's probably our biggest competitor.
That's a big one.
Yeah, they're the giant in the space, but also their bands are kind of way out of our price range. They're anywhere from $100 to $500. And then you got brands on Amazon that have anywhere from $3 to $10 bands that are probably not going to last you very long. And then for us, we like to say we're kind of at the top of our competitors. Obviously, there's a ton of other brands that have different styles, and some are just beauty bands that go with stylish outfits. Some are just stretchy bands. We like to say we encompass kind of everybody. We want to have a band for everybody, and we also have things that they can't have, is a lifetime warranty that no other brand's going to offer, just because, one, we stand behind our products. We have done iteration after iteration to make sure the strength of our products holds up, and then also just the look of them doesn't diminish over time like a lot of the cheaper Amazon bands do. So we're really in that middle playing field between Amazon and then Apple, which in our opinion, we have just as good bands. They just price them way higher.
Right. Okay, got it. Where do you manufacture?
We manufacture out of China. We have an employee over there who she's responsible, for everything we do. I talk with her on a daily basis about reorders, new launches, pretty much everything of that sorts.
Got it. And are you planning or thinking about tariffs, etc., with everything going on now, or?
It's definitely top of mind, but I don't think that it's going to impact us as much as it will some other companies out there.
And so the lifelong warranty, I remember like as a kid, we used to get like Land's End clothing, and like that was like their thing. Like you can always, how does that actually play itself out in practice? What percentage of people actually end up?
I would say a decent amount of people end up using it, not because the band breaks itself, but because their dog gets a hold of it, or they lose a little link to it when they're putting it back together to resize it. And, we're not the strictest people with it, but it obviously has to be a warranty claim. But we like to say we're going to give the customer the benefit of the doubt. They pay a very small processing fee to, cover our costs, essentially. We pay for the bands. And then we'll ship a band right back out to them. Usually same day, sometimes next day.
Got it. Cool. It seems like it will be a differentiator in today's market. I'd assume most of your competitors don't do that.
I would hope so. We have tons of reviews on our site that most of them talk about the bands, but we have a very large amount that talk about our customer service team. They're great. I love talking to them. They're two of the nicest people in the entire world, in my opinion. But they're there to help our customers, and usually it's, at no cost to the customer is how we're willing to help them out.
All right. Got it. Cool. And you sell just on your site, or do you do multi-channel? Where exactly are you selling?
So we do most of our sales, I would say 75% on Shopify on our website. And then the other 25% is on Amazon. We do a couple wholesale accounts, but it's nothing overarching on our top line.
Got it. Did you ever have a time where you felt like you had to pivot or change your business model or do something different in order to succeed?
Yeah, our hero SKU back in 2022, I want to say, was a similar product to Apple when they had their braided band, but ours was, different braided pattern. It was a different width. We talked to, numerous attorneys to see if we would be able to win in court, and they essentially told us, listen, do you want to go to court with a brand as big as Apple, who's just going to drown you in legal fees, or do you want to change your hero product? We took the latter. So we had to kind of engineer our entire system on what products we wanted to be the top sellers, what our ad account was going to look like going forward, what creatives we were going to make, and we did end up turning it around. The permaband on our website became our top seller for a really, really long time, until more recently our Adapt collection, which is just our braided band and our Paladin band as an adjustable version. Super simple clasp to work with. Customers love it. We've only been selling it for about 2 months, and it's already our top seller in terms of quantity and revenue.
And how about like a milestone or like some high point that you've been at?
I don't know. We've been at a ton of high points where it's just you double, month over month for an entire year. That was back in 2022. Low points is when you're obviously not doing as well. You sell out of best sellers when you shouldn't, things of that nature. I would say a high point that we're looking forward to is, cracking into the 7-figure months and staying at them. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I think just incredible growth and then keeping our inventory where it needs to be has been the most impactful.
Right. What is your like Black Friday holiday season look like versus the rest of the year?
It's the biggest part of the year by far. I would say Black Friday, that 2 weeks, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and a couple days before it, are definitely our biggest 2 weeks of the year. And then it kind of falls into January as well. People are getting Apple Watches for Christmas. A lot of our customers immediately after getting gifted it are looking for watch bands, and ideally our brand is top of mind. They've seen our ads before, or they'll see it after Christmas. So January and February are typically big months for us too.
Got it. Interesting. I guess there's a real correlation with buying the smartwatch and then selling your band.
Yeah.
Interesting. What does your FP&A process look like?
I'm sorry, what is that?
Like your forecasting, budgeting, all, I guess, with inventory management. I mean, in general, it's really hard, and especially in e-commerce brands, managing your cash, managing your inventory.
Yeah. I would say we're definitely unconventional about it. We don't have a forecasting model month over month. We do a broad one every single year that we try to follow, but things change week over week, sometimes day over day, of what our best seller is, what our inventory status is, what ads, spending on Facebook, what platform spending best for us. Finaloop does a great job of, us keeping our finances in check day over day. Back when we were using an accounting firm, essentially we had to wait until halfway through the next month to even know what our actual numbers were. We would track them through Triple Whale, but that's not always exact. You can't have every single detailed expense in there. It's just impossible. And we have a small team. It's me, Cole, and then we have a couple contractors as well. And you can't have a full-time accountant on staff unless you want a big expense. So Finaloop does a great job of keeping track of our expenses for us for forecasting that way. For forecasting inventory, we use a build-out spreadsheet that we've kind of developed over the past year, where we take obviously our inventory that we currently have, we forecast out how we think we're going to do over the next couple months, and then do it that way with our safety stock numbers and everything like that. So we have it nailed down to not the entire way to a T, but from 2021 having no inventory ordering experience to now, I think we've gotten a ton better. So yeah.
Interesting. I guess also because your products are relatively small, it takes up less space in like warehouses.
Correct. We have about 850 SKUs right now. Over the next 6 months, we'll probably launch another 150, 200. Ton of product launches planned for 2025. Thankfully, it's a smaller product. We can fit a lot in a small space. Our 3PL does a good job of, getting them on the shelves, getting them ready to be shipped out within a very timely manner as soon as it's delivered. So planning for those drops is a little bit more intricate. After we have a drop, we'll see how well it does, see what the styles were. Maybe we'll up the inventory for the next drop. Maybe we'll lower it. And then also deciding if we want to keep that as a hero product where we'll restock it, or if we're just going to drop it afterwards.
And I guess maybe this touches on the previous question. How do you build like a community or touch your customers around your product?
I mean, I truthfully think it's launching bands, launching designs, everything that customers recommend. At the end of the day, you can launch whatever you want. You're the owner of the business, but that feedback that customers give and the bands that they want, the colors that they want, that's really what takes our key direction whenever we do our product launches for the year, whenever we sit down and plan those out. So giving the customers what they want there, and then on the back end, having great customer service, having a great lifetime warranty available to them. At the end of the day, the customer is the most important thing. Your product is second, only to customers, because they're the ones buying it. They're going to rebuy it, and they're going to keep your business afloat.
Right. And where's the feedback coming from? Through your customer success or online? Like,
I would say through reviews. Yeah, reviews, post-purchase questionnaires, and then any feedback that comes in via email to our customer support team, they pretty much send it directly to me. And if they have any questions for it, I'm usually the one that answers it. But it's nice that there's only one level of, transparency between customer service and me, because we can act on things very, very quickly instead of having it go through, 10 different layers.
Right. That makes sense. If you can go back in time, I was going to say 5 years, but I guess in your case it would be to 2021. What would you tell your younger self before starting out on this journey?
Learn how to order inventory effectively. That's number one, because we've definitely over-ordered non-best sellers in the past, which kind of got us in a tight spot with cash. And then probably product innovation, how important it is. I think we did a pretty good job of launching new colors and designs, but I think innovating on the actual product, especially for our Adaptaloop now. We had an adjustable band at the time, but there was a ton of different key factors that we could have updated on it that we just didn't. And then product differentiation as well. We had some differentiators, but we weren't fully experienced enough, in my opinion, to know which were going to be successful as quickly as they were. What else? Read contracts fully. I think that's one that people probably understand, but especially very new to this game, and new to contracts and companies putting things in very fine print. You either have to know a little bit of the contract law by yourself, or you have to have an attorney look it over, because you might read it 2 or 3 times, think it's great. An attorney's going to read it for 15 minutes and they're going to say, no, you can't sign this. So if you can, have an attorney friend, especially if you're starting out. Attorneys aren't cheap, but just to make sure you're not screwing yourself in the end.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. As a former lawyer, I can make that point. Yeah. If you weren't running this brand now, what would you be doing today?
I would like to think running a different brand. I also have a golf brand, kind of on the side. My business partner Cole has a couple brands on the side as well. We both have a passion for it. We enjoy e-commerce. I would say probably running the golf brand. If I never got into e-commerce, I don't know. I might still be at Aldi. Maybe I started a different company. There's no telling.
Right. Okay. I got that. And where do you see e-commerce going?
That's a good question. I don't know. Just recently, I'm sure you're familiar with AppLovin, and advertising on digital games and whatnot for that. It's seeing an insane uprise compared to Meta. Everybody's complaining about Meta constantly and how it's a monopoly, which it is. And I'm hoping that tools like AppLovin continue to come out in the advertising space. Not necessarily gets easier, but gets a little bit more branched out in terms of you can use a lot of different tools other than just Facebook and Instagram to be advertising. TikTok obviously works well for some companies, Snapchat, but Meta really is the big dog in the field, and I think a couple other small players need to come out. Along with that, I think it's, as everybody's seen, as creator-driven brands. Creators with millions of followers are going to find, hopefully, their passion and their niche to create great products and launch them to their communities. They already have, a community built where they're going to, from day one, be profitable probably. But we've also seen some fails with some creators doing that and not launching the best product or an overpriced product and things of that nature. But I think it's going to be more creator-led, and ideally the way you get your eyeballs on the brand and the company is going to be a little bit different here in the next 5 to 10 years.
And if people want to find out more about you or your brand, where's the best place they should look?
Solacebands.com, best watch bands in the game. You got a lifetime warranty, hundreds of thousands of happy customers. So check out Solace Bands. We have a band for you, and that's pretty much it.
All right, great. And if you had to pick one product to recommend to people, what would it be?
Imperium Adapt, every single day of the week. It's the one I wear every day. I wear it every day to work out, sauna, cold plunge, and it holds up perfectly fine.
And it's like water resistant?
Yeah. So it dries super quickly. As soon as I get out of the shower or anything, I take a towel, I just pat it dry, and then it's good for the rest of the day.
And I guess if it goes bad, you have a lifetime warranty, so you could always return it.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you very much. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. It was a pleasure. Take care.
Awesome. You too. Thank you, Jacob.